What's up, guys? Captain Negativity here, and today I want to talk to you about why I will not be going back to DragonFlight after quitting in Shadowlands approximately with the mass exodus that happened last year at around April-June. First, before we start and talk about the problems that I have with the game and why I won't be playing, a little bit of a history about myself. I've been playing since Burning Crusade. I mained a paladin since basically Wrath, even Burning Crusade I would say, but I can't say I mained anything in TBC because I played just a little bit. I mained paladin, meaning my tank, my holy, and my red were always approximately the same level of capability of what they could do in the game. But if I had to say which spec would be my main, it would be Retribution. Which is a good reason of why not to play DragonFlight, for sure, but let's move on. So I'm a Mythic Raider since basically Legion. That's when I dabbled in Mythic raiding. It was fun and all, but you know, it has its own issues. Almost cutting edge, so we usually didn't kill the last boss. That was maybe like the last two bosses. Depends on like one of the guilds that I was in. We would always get to the last boss. The other guilds, we would get to like the one before, something like that. Yeah, as far as Mythic Plus goes, in Legion I was doing 22s, 24s, realized that there's absolutely no point in doing more than plus 15s. So I was just doing the 15s, 15 to 18 cents. BFA did not really, I think the highest I did was like 17, but I was just getting my, you know, just weekly cash stuff. Shadowlands, same, it was just fill the vault. So again, absolutely no interest in doing higher mythic pluses because there were no rewards. PvP wise, the highest I've gotten was 1800, and that was mostly for gear. I really don't like WoW PvP at all. It is really not interesting to me. It's just not fun. I don't find WoW PvP fun at all. But yeah, it is what it is, right? And yeah, and the reason I quit back in Shadowlands or took a break did not really change in Dragonflight. Like the main reasons why I don't play WoW is the same reason why I won't play in Dragonflight. That would be the main reason. And yeah, let's get down to it. Of course, there's a few reasons, but yeah, let's go. Story. What's wrong with the story? Well, it's really not appealing and doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, okay? The Primalist are not a threat to the player character. Like, we killed the freaking planet 3 expansions ago. You think I care about some dragons? Like, come on. Give me a break. Okay, like, and even, like, okay, and some people would even say, oh, but you're comparing it to, like, a final, the final boss of an expansion. You're telling me these Primalists are stronger than Xavius. Come on. Okay, like... Come on, you're telling me they're stronger than Athreus. Come on. You know, it's like, I don't care about these guys. They're not a threat to the player character. I don't care how strong you can make them seem in the history. They are not a threat. Are they stronger than Ragnaros? No, they're like the kids of Ragnaros and like Alakir and all that stuff, right? So we killed those guys at full power. Why would we care about some proto-drakes? But apparently these proto-drakes are so fucking strong. Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever. Based on the 3 cinematics, they still don't, like... Okay, they gave a problem to Deathwing before he used Void, which, sure, whatever. And then Deathwing used the Void to open a portal. Kinda interesting that during Cataclysm, he didn't have this power, even though he was already infused with a Void for 20,000 years. So you would think he would have even more Void powers, but apparently he only had fire for the most part. Like, okay, sure. Yeah, the other thing is, like, the dragon story ended in Cataclysm, in my opinion. If they want to do Dragon Isles, I'm sorry, in my opinion, that ship has sailed. You had Cataclysm. The Age of Mortals was the ending of Cataclysm. Honestly, in my opinion, Dragon Isles should have been Timeless Isles for Cataclysm. Like, that's pretty much it. But no, there's a whole, like, civilization there that was been locked away. Sure. Okay. Now, the other thing is, it's like... how the aspects got their power to be the aspects, which was like bestowed upon them by the Titans, but now there's gonna be some moon meeting, when the sun and the moon meet, they can create aspects again. But if that's the case, how did what's his name, the blue Dragonflight leader, now he's supposed to be an aspect because his leader Malygos, right, he died, so then Caligos became the aspect, but now you can't become an aspect without the sun and the moon meeting, so you can become an aspect again. Okay, sure. I'm sure they just neglected to mention a few details when when they made the aspects. Okay. And now the other thing was that the aspects were, I am not even sure if it's canon, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, even when you think about it. Someone told me that the aspects, even though they gave up their power to to bring down Deathwing, and the Age of Mortals started, throughout the years, because they've been infused with the Titan's power for so long, their power started regenerating naturally. Okay, so you're telling me when they first infused the disc to fight off the demons, where they gave some of their power away, right, which was 10,000 years ago, they could not regain that power back since, but after they used it the second time and basically lost their aspect power completely, now they can recharge it. Cool. Okay. All right. The other ones, like the Titans were enslaving dragons so that they will remain loyal to the Order. Okay. Funny how this works, given that at no point are there any dragons anywhere that are Order bound, nor are they even caught sniffing waters anywhere. And also, Twilight Dragonflight clearly didn't follow these rules, yet remained untouched by Titans. I am gonna read all of this from a script, because honestly, at this point, I just cannot memorize it for the life of me, so yeah. And here's the thing, in Wrath the Titans are still very much alive, the ones that infused the dragons with their aspect power, yet they didn't even try to do anything to the dragons that weren't under their brainwashing, because even though Wrath of the Lich King didn't really focus on dragons and all, the Twilight Dragonflight was still a thing, but clearly the Titans didn't care about it. They didn't try to do anything, nothing. Okay, so anyway, so what's the point of the Titans brainwashing dragons if they don't care if they're brainwashed, right? Because like if the Titans are not doing anything to the brainwashed dragons, they mean they don't care about the dragons being brainwashed or being void possessed. It's like, whatever. It's like, oh, but they were busy with other shit. Yeah, sure. Okay, like not one of the Titans cared about this. Okay. Anyways, and then the biggest pet peeve I have with this story is Moruzan. Nosdormu will become Moruzan and will be one of the main villains. Why do I care? Why would I care? Moruzan being a villain is maybe a dungeon level difficulty, if that. I don't know if you guys remember, we defeated Moruzan in Cataclysm in a dungeon. That's how weak he was compared to what he will be anything in Dragonflight. Okay, so his power level is nothing. Okay, now given the story might be that's like we beat the shit out of Moruzan, and then he escapes to time weakened, and in his weakened state, he goes back to Cataclysm and fights the player character to then die. That would probably be the only way I can see Moruzan making any sense. But yeah, honestly, if Moruzan is a raid boss, I'm sorry, this shit does not make any sense. But yeah, let's move on to point number 2. There are just no new features. And now hear me on this. You might be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? This guy's crazy. Okay, listen to me. Yes, is dragon riding a feature? Sure. Does it add to anything outside of fun outside in the world, which is fine? Yes, it does. How long are you going to have fun with Dragonflight? I would say 2 weeks, maybe a month, until you're like, yo, I just want to watch this video while I'm trying to travel from point A to point B in the world because I have to do some world stuff, and now I have to wait for the recharge on this dragon, and it's like, bro, let me just fly from point A to point B. Okay, that's literally what's gonna happen. This is WoW, that's how it is. And again, the devs don't want to happen, and it's their prerogative. I just think it's dumb because we all know you're gonna have flying. Just make it hard to unlock, but let people unlock it. Who cares, right? It's like, don't time gate it. Just be like, okay, when you reach all of these stuff, with your dragon riding ability, you can fly normally. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now the actual features of the expansion. So for example, MoP and WoD introduced, well, MoP introduced challenge runs. WoD had them as well. But then Blizzard were like, yo, let's evolve this feature, and they made Mythic Plus. Mythic Plus in Legion was great. And ever since then, it has been getting worse. Okay, they start focusing on bosses, because that's really like why you do dungeons, kind of like you want to fight the bosses. They're also the ones who give you the loot, right? It's like you're doing it for the bosses, right? Mythic Plus is starting just focusing on trash packs, the mini boss trash packs, I can't even say they've been focusing on affixes, because the affixes have been pretty much the same. They just removed some, and also the affixes have been like just shit. There's no innovation on the affixes. They're not more interesting. They're not fun. They're just punishing. And honestly, talking about punishing, the whole Mythic Plus system is way more punishing than it is rewarding. Is it the best loot system in the game? Yes, I'll give you that. That is not that doesn't mean much, because the whole loot system in the game is shit. Okay, we'll go over that. But Mythic Plus being the best loot system in the game doesn't mean anything when you compare it to nothing. It's like comparing shit to diarrhea. It's like, wow, one is better. Oh, who cares? Still shit. Oh my god, man, I have like a big pet peeve with Mythic Pluses. Yeah. Anyways, you also get less dungeons now for the expansion. Now you only have 4 dungeons for the Mythic Plus rotation, and then 4 all dungeons. So technically Blizzard has even like less work to do now, because it's like, well, we just need to tune 4 dungeons for the Mythic Plus instead of 8 dungeons, because we do 4 and we use 4 from like previous expansion for the season. Like boom, then done. Great. So Blizzard reduced their workload. Okay. There are no power systems, which is good and bad, because in my opinion, power systems were always cool. The main problem with power systems is acquisition, okay? And that the class usually doesn't feel full until you get certain powers unlocked. But I feel like the systems were a good idea implemented poorly, okay? Imagine you could swap covenants whenever you want. Imagine you didn't have covenant energy, imagine it wasn't time gated. You could just farm it out, and once you farm it out on the main character, all your alts can use it. You don't have to refarm it, right? Honestly, even the time gated is kinda okay. Depends how it's done. I didn't like how it was done, but for the most part, the acquisition of all the power systems was bad, right? Azerite power, was it boring? Sure. However, it was fine as long as it wasn't a pain in the ass to get, and you could change talents on it to begin with, but you couldn't, so they had to remake it. Then you had the essences. Essences were fantastic. I think everybody liked essences. They added a lot to your gameplay. They added options. Essences were really cool. You know what sucked? Having a second character, because you have to regrind all the essences and just like, boom, buy it. Corruption, fantastic. But why is there a rotation of this NPC that has its corruption that you can buy rotated like on Tuesday and on Saturday or something? And then it's like, what are we doing here? So Tuesday and Friday. It's like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Like, just let people buy whatever the fuck they want. Like, just move on with it. Why is the acquisition of like the currency to buy them was so fucking hard? So even if you want to buy them, you're gonna have to grind for like 2 weeks to just buy one of the corruptions. Like, there's not that much time. This is all going away with the patch. Like, just let people have fun. Which Blizzard really doesn't like letting people have fun. Okay, it's like the Blizzard, like WoW right now is a one character MMO, maybe 2. You have 38 specs. You can only play like 5 of them per patch. Like, right? Really sucks. Okay. Now, there are also like no cool features like Torghast. Now, it's like, okay, hear me on this. Okay, Torghast, yes, I get it. Torghast, when it was introduced in alpha or beta and whatever, was apparently really fucking fun. people really, really like Torghast. Battlefronts was a cool idea. Island Expedition was a cool idea. Implementation, bad. Idea, good. So whoever is making the ideas should not have been fired. Whoever's implementing them should have been. Okay? Like, fix the implementation. The ideas are fantastic. I wish there was Torghast. Okay? Mage Tower, fantastic. Why is it like once every 4 months, a week of it, you know? It's just transmogs. Just open the Mage Tower, let people do it. Jesus Christ. And if like item level is the problem, going into Mage Tower reduces your item level to what 900 used to be back in the day in Legion. It's not rocket science. Instead of scaling Mage Tower up the whole time, just do it like a time walking thing where you are scaled down. Implementation is the problem, okay? God damn. Let's move on to my biggest pet peeve though. Let's talk about loot. The juicy reason. This is the biggest reason I am no longer playing World of Warcraft. And this is the main reason that this is the main thing that hasn't been fixed in DragonFlight, and why I'm not excited for DragonFlight, nor will I be playing it, okay? Yeah, but I'm not even going to talk about personal and group loot. I made a video about that. You can check it out. Personal loot was better, in case, like, you know, because the video is called which is better, personal loot versus group loot, you know, and the winner is, spoiler alert, its personal loot was slightly better, not something substantial. But anyways, yeah. Let's talk about world content. Now we have world content this time, okay? And we even have a world content gear set. Great, which offers no set that helps you in the world. You know, like kind of like how in Legion you had coolest legendaries that like you can use for world quests, like Hagramar's Stride for like movement speed and stuff, like shit like that. Or like you had the Bear Tartar, like when you kill an enemy, you just start fucking flying from place to place. Yeah, no, you don't get any of those. I don't know why. Like fucking, like everyone loved it, but apparently Blizzard doesn't like when people like something. Anyways, so the world loot. Why is it time gated? The purple stuff, the purple loot, which is, I don't remember the item level, I think it's like 384, which is basically Mythic 0 item level, as far as I know, or like very, very close, LFR, Mythic 0 item level. Why is this time gated? It's going to take you, I think it's like, some did the calculations, like 7 weeks to finish one world content set. Which, again, I wouldn't mind if it was just for the cosmetic. But if it's just for the cosmetic, why does it have an item level? Because clearly some people will want this as an item level, but no one will want as an item level if it's useless. Okay, so it's like, why is this time gated? It's literally like a useless item level. Don't time gate it. If it's just cosmetic, make it a cosmetic. That's it. Like, just make it a cosmetic. Make it like, oh, you pick it up and it goes to your cosmetic tab without people having to trash it. Like, it's just like the set is useless. Anyways, let's go to the biggest one, Mythic Plus. Okay, Mythic Plus still only rewards 2 to 3 items. Okay, I really don't understand why WoW players are okay with this, because it takes you approximately 10 minutes to form a group. Okay, the run takes about 20 to 30 minutes. You're hoping that no one leaves or drops ship. Be like, oh, well, we're not gonna time this. Might as well leave, because it's a waste of time. Which wastes everyone's time even further, okay? The reason people leave is because it's punishing, because, like, well, if you don't time the key, there's less loot, the IO score doesn't go up, etc., 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 right? So, again, more punishing. The guy who made the run loses his key, in the sense it goes down a level, which is like, why? Like, it's not his fault somebody left. Okay, the whole Mythic Plus system is very time wasting, very punishing for no reason. And honestly, I mean, I already been through the affixes. The affixes are fucking still dog shit, and they're not fun to play around. Okay, some are. Prideful was fun to play around. The gates during the N'Zoth stuff. Forgot the name of the affix, but it's like when you go into a gate and you kill the mobs, and when you kill them, another portal opens so you can get out. So people created like cool skips in the dungeon. That was really fun. Were there any other fun ones? Not really. I can't think of anything that was like really, really fun. The Chains of Domination one could have been, but the orb was kind of dog shit, so it wasn't like as fun as it could have been. The idea is fun, implementation, keyword here, wasn't great. But yeah, they had fun mechanics, but not like Sanguine. It's not fun. Explosion is not fun, right? It's like it doesn't even give you the choice. Like a mechanic happens, you have to do something. It's not, there's no thinking involved. Imagine this, just like my favorite example. Imagine explosion was, instead of like just basically wiping the raid if there's like 2 explosions going off in a high mythic plus, instead of that it would be a life orb. If you destroy the life orb, it heals the whole party. If you don't destroy it within the time limit, it will heal the enemy. So now you have a choice. Like, listen, either way, we're about to kill this one guy. We killed it before the thing explodes, or we probably should kill the orb and heal ourselves, right? Something like that. Or maybe like a life orb spawns and there's like little minions that come and attack it. So it's like, and if they destroy it or something, no, that's too complex. Fuck it. Forget that idea. Okay, but either way, like there's like way better ways of implementing the affixes. I don't like almost any of the affixes. Most of them are just annoying as hell to deal with. They're not fun. You just have a weak order that tells you, it's like, well, the affix is about to hit up, you know? It's like the affix is up. It's like explosion is up. You have a weak order that tells you. It's not fun. It's just, oh, switch target, boonga, oonga, boonga, go back to your targets. Like, it's not interesting, okay? None of the affixes are interesting. None of them are very fun. Okay. But yeah, this is about loot. Holy hell. Okay. Yeah, anyways, big waste of time to do Mythic Plus compared to the loot you get. You only get 2 to 3 items. After the 15s, now it's going to be after the 20s, you get 20% chance to get 1 extra item. The people who are doing those high level keys don't need the extra item anyways. So this system is just useless to get 1 extra item when you don't even need items anymore. It takes you about an hour to do a run, okay? If you're doing it in a pug. Just like preparations, whatever, it takes you even longer if people start dropping out, leaving and stuff like that. You still cannot target the gear you want. You still cannot target the dungeon you want. You still get punished if the run fails, okay? This whole key system is a problem, okay? It's just meant to waste your time, okay? And again, people are like, oh, well, Mythic Plus is the best gearing system in the game. Yeah, you're comparing diarrhea to fucking dog shit, okay? Which one is better? Probably dog shit, but guess what? It's still dog shit, okay? God damn, like, I don't understand WoW mentality, why they're okay with this. Like, oh, but Mythic Raid gives you 3 items per 20 people, so Mythic Plus is so much better. Yes, it's better, but Mythic Raid, like, the raid loot is also fucking diarrhea, okay? Stop comparing it. It's so bad. You're comparing bad to bad, right? There needs to be more loot so you can play more characters. I get it. It's like, well, you just want things handing out to you. No, I want to be rewarded for spending time in the game because I pay for this time, because this time cost me $15 a month with an expansion costing me $60 per 2 years. At the end of the 2 years, you spent like 400 and something bucks on a game where nothing eventually made any relevancy to you, because every patch it all goes away anyways. Blizzard has this thing that they put all this loot on a pedestal, and at the end of the day they throw away the pedestal because the next patch comes out. Pedestal doesn't mean shit. Everything that you earned, there's now a catch up for it, and now you have to redo it again. How many characters can you play like this? I can only play in like I don't even have like a solid, like, you know, like a job where I'm like overworking and stuff like that. I don't have a family, like I'm single. What's up, ladies? You know, it's like I don't have a lot of responsibilities because I'm still a man-child. And even I can barely play more than 2 characters. Okay, well, by the way, if I play a character, I play usually all specs. I want to explore the whole character. I want to have fun with all the specs on the character. That means Paladin, Prot, Holy, and what's called in Ret. I had the Warrior, played Arms, Fury, and Protection. And eventually I had to dump the Warrior because I need to play Demon Hunter for my raid. Okay? Do I have other characters that are maxed out on the level? Yes, well, not anymore. But yes, I did. I could never play them. I got them to max level. It's like, well, like, I don't want to go through all the mythic pluses again because I've been there. It's not interesting, right? It's like I want to jump to the content that I'm used to, that I'm good at, that I know that I can do. Yeah, that's... I feel like that's pretty much it for the loot, except... Okay, one more thing. Okay, so as far as I know, DragonFlight is supposed to have a more steady and constant loot cadence, right? Now, if we go by Legion's example, which was their, like, I would say this is probably like the standard you would go by. 7 days, or basically 11 weeks per patch, per 0.5 patch. So it means 22 weeks for a big patch. Okay. Now, in 22 weeks to max out your character. Now, think about it this way. For raid loot, okay, to max out on mythic raid loot, if you are clearing a full raid, cutting edge, because of the amount of items you get, on the best possible situation for you to max out one character with mythic raid loot is 7 weeks. Let that sink in. 7 weeks of mythic raiding, full clears with the best possible chance to get the exact item that you want. It would take about 7 weeks. How do I do the math? I mean, I did it somewhere in the background. I don't have it on me, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It takes you about 7 weeks. I'm not including the vault in this, okay? Obviously, with the vault might be better, but again, those last few items can take you the whole patch to get, okay? Especially now with these like extremely rare weapons, like the hunter weapon, there's like 7 item levels higher. Just a dumb fucking decision. Those ones might take you like the whole patch and you might not even get them, making you feel really good about yourself and investing your time for sure. But yeah, anyways, thing is, don't compare this to an end of expansion, okay? End of expansion patch, obviously there's more loot and stuff like that, because I already see you guys in the comments like, well, Shadowlands right now is so fucking good, man, so good, you should try it. No, I don't want to try Shadowlands because, yes, there's a bunch of catch-up systems. Yeah, you're like, it's the end of the expansion. The end of expansion patch also lasts for like a fucking year. Not this one specifically, but usually. So yeah, don't compare this to end of expansion patches where like everything is basically handed out to you. Imagine end of expansion patch was... Sorry, imagine all the other patches were as lucrative as an end of expansion patch. That would be so much better, okay? Just imagine that. Anyways, let's move on to the topic I really don't care about. PvP. I'm not an expert in PvP, okay? But these are the things that really bother me in PvP and why I don't participate in it. First of all, the last time I really enjoyed PvP was WoD. And that was because Red Paladin basically had like, you know, long dick of the law and they could just run around like crazy. It was really fun to play Red Paladin back then. Not anymore. Arenas, in my opinion, are way too boring, but while being way too chaotic. I don't know how Blizzard managed to do this, but that's how it is. It's way too chaotic while simultaneously being too fucking boring to participate in. And yeah, the gameplay right now is mostly observing the match while you're being CC'd for like 20 to 30 seconds straight, and then the diminishing returns resets, and then it's like you get to get CC'd again all over. And then getting one shot from stealth was always a fun thing in Shadowlands because good game design, obviously. There has been no change to diminishing returns since forever. I mean, like, again, if you can be CC'd, no matter what it is, like, yeah, you have different categories for diminishing returns. If you can be CC'd in PvP for 30 seconds straight, okay, that is not good game design. It's like, well, you have a trinket. 2-minute cooldown. 2-minute cooldown. Fuck off. Are you fucking kidding me? That trinket should have 30 to 45 second cooldown with the amount of CC that's in this game. Okay? Oh my god, I'm getting so angry. Like, my throat is getting... Now, what would be the best kind of content for PvP in WoW? From my humble opinion of somebody who doesn't even PvP in WoW, whose opinion doesn't even matter, focus on battlegrounds and objective gameplay. If you are watching a PvP game, even if you're watching League of Legends, you don't see what's happening. You don't understand it. You can see, however, oh, this character died. There was a nice little battle. Boom, this guy died. In Arena, you like, it's not a game where there's continuous battle. It's not like he died, he's gonna respawn, come back. No, that's not what happens. It's like you die, it's over. So it's like you don't even understand how he died. It's already the next match. While you're trying to compute in your head, it's like, wait, what did he die from? What even happened on the screen, right? The camera was focusing on these guys. This guy died in like the background in like an instant. It's like, what the fuck happened? Well, let's watch the replay, and you still don't even understand. It's like, well, time for the next match. Let's go. Like, it's not viewable. Who even watches Arena gameplay, like competition, aside from like people who are fanboys for the groups? Like, no one. Like, a casual won't understand anything. Fuck, a pro usually doesn't understand. I've seen Peekaboo trying to analyze his gameplays, and he was dumbfounded about like some of the stuff that happened. He knows what he's doing, sure, but doesn't understand what's going on with the other 5 people, what they're doing. Anyways, I would say if they want viewership, BGs would by far be the way to go. With a zoomed out view of a BG, make BGs, there are like 6 players maybe, and just like objective gameplay. Capture the flag is decent. Something like Dominion, was it? Or Domination? I think it's Domination. I don't know, whatever. Where you like basically AB, where you just capture a base and you start getting points because you capture the base. Stuff like AB, stuff like WSG. Azerite stuff was okay. I honestly wish they would make something more of a MOBA-ish. I think that would be even more interesting, where it's like, or basically a Battlefront. MOBA-ish would be a Battlefront. And PvP Battlefront, that would be so sick, bro. PvP Battlefronts. Holy fuck. Reduce the cost for building stuff by a ton. You have objective gameplay. You have little skirmishes on bases. Like, you know, implementation, good luck. But again, as an idea, I think everyone would have loved it. Yeah, fuck, that's PvP. And now, the last point I would like to make. And this one is near and dear to my heart. Red Paladin still sucks. Now, don't get me wrong, the damage might be fucking good, I don't care. The gameplay sucks ass, though. Nothing is interesting about the class, right? It's like, you have no mobility, still. You have 1 burst, sure. You have the most visible spells in the fucking world. It's like, oh, he popped wings, starts CCing and running away. This is PvP, you know? Oh, his horse is up, you know? It's like, you see horse, you react. When a rogue sprints, it takes you a second to understand that he's sprinting, okay? It's like, he might have activated sprint while still attacking you, and then suddenly he disappears. You can't activate a horse, run around the target, and then disappear, right? It's like it's visible that you're on a horse, okay? So the most visible stuff. Having Shield of Vengeance and the other one that's like reducing damage as the same spell, like you have to choose one or the other, is so fucking dumb. I would say 95% of the time you would still take Shield of Vengeance. Because that is a shield. If you are at 10% HP, I might as well shield myself for like 15 to 20% HP, because it increases your bar. Then reduce the rest of the damage, because, well, like, reducing damage by 20% is not going to get me to not die with 10k HP, you know? You're still going to end up with less HP. It depends on the damage. So yeah, so that's a big problem. Let's see, what else did I have here? Yeah, no, like that's... And, oh yeah, this is probably the biggest one. Red Paladin is pretty much... Red Paladin in DragonFlight is Legion Red Paladin with maybe 1 or 2 spells, like Divine Toll. Means it's gonna be, what, 2, 4, 6? There's gonna be 8 years of playing the same exact, no changes, worst edition of Paladin that you can get for another 2 years. Nah, no thank you. Not for me. I don't know how Red Paladins have like the fucking patience. I was even considering playing Dragonflight and changing to Warlock. Not because Warlock is fun or anything like that, but because like it's always at least viable. right? Maybe Rogue. But maybe Warlock. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, I'm getting so heated about this topic. It's crazy. Like, my throat is gone. But yeah, that's the video. Don't like it, don't comment, and don't subscribe because I am a WoW hater. I hate WoW. I hope it dies. No, I don't. I want the game to be good. I want the game to be fun. I want the game to be rewarding. I want the game to respect people's time. Okay? The game does none of that right now. The only ones who are winners are people who just like always enjoy PvP no matter what. They don't care about their class they're playing unless the class is always overpowered. World first raiders. I know the raids now are gonna be a bit easier with add-ons, but it's like, who cares? The UI changes, who cares? Like, you're still gonna use add-ons. If you didn't use add-ons before, you won't use them now, it's better for you, sure. If you were doing anything heroic, raid or above, you were probably using add-ons, you will still use the add-ons. This UI changed nothing, right? Even like most people who did normal raids. Yeah, you have some of the special guys who do heroic raids with no add-ons, good for you. And now it's easier for you, but like, let's be real, majority of players, this UI change is half-baked and not ready. Okay, do I have anything else to say? No, I don't think so. Either way, you get a new expansion that costs more, that offers less. That would be the conclusion. New expansion that costs more and offers less. What a time to be alive.